Welcome to FIREPEN Factory. Today I'm going to show you how to use FIREPEN in the most comprehensive and, what's more important, safe way. FIREPEN is a professional tool and shall be used by adults only. Let's begin. Look around yourself. Make sure that the area is safe and clear of any bystanders. Make sure that you don't have any flammable materials next to you, because if it can burn, it probably will. If you are using FIREPEN in an enclosed environment, make sure that you have adequate means of ventilation. And don't even think about using FIREPEN for pressurized equipment. If it can blow up, it will. Now it's time to think about appropriate clothing. This is not a fashion show or a beach trip, so make sure you are protected enough to face melting substances. You will absolutely require fireproof clothes. You will need long pants, long sleeve jackets, you will need a pair of fireproof gloves, and also what you will need is a professional visor to protect your eyes, or simply sunglasses will do. Closed boots are absolutely necessary to keep your feet protected from melting residue. Now look around one more time. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher and a box of sand to dispose your FIREPEN and ignition match. FIREPEN cannot be extinguished by water, foam or any kind of fire extinguisher. It will boil the water and burn through the bucket. The only way to prevent FIREPEN from burning through is to bury it in a sandbox. Now it's time to cut. Please watch attentively, because every step is vitally important. FIREPEN has special marking on its casing. Please read it carefully before using it. Pull the cutting rod out of the casing along with the ignition match located inside as well. Attach the rod to a handle by connecting plastic edges together. Make sure it sits firmly. Each FIREPEN has special marking. Please adhere to it. It is important to hold your hand away from the plastic connection area and further down the casing, or your hand will get burned by the cutting rod or plastic residue. Hold FIREPEN in your hands to make yourself comfortable with it and decide which hand will be the most suitable for operating. Before igniting, make a few practice rounds of application to make sure you do it comfortably and safely. Please plan ahead the way you will dispose the match once the FIREPEN rod ignites, and the means to dispose the rod in case it cuts the object before burning out. Now it's time to ignite. Light the provided ignition match by applying friction against friction surface located on the rod itself. Keep in mind that there are two types of FIREPEN. Regular version comes with the friction surface located on the outside housing of the device, while on a Pro version it's located on the thermal rod itself. Once the match ignites, press it against FIREPEN rod, and maintaining contact between the match and the rod, move the match as it burns along. Please note that each FIREPEN has a special ignition point on its edge marked in red, so make sure you keep a match exactly at that point to ignite it. FIREPEN cannot be ignited using regular matches or anything that burns at temperature lower than 1400 Celsius. Once you see a distinctive flash, it means FIREPEN is fully ignited and ready for use. To cut an object, please maintain a constant contact of the rod with the object, applying a fair amount of pressure. Cutting horizontal surfaces, the angle of FIREPEN must be within the angle of 60 to 90 degrees. The more you are perpendicular to the object, the more efficient the cut will be. Cutting vertical surfaces, the angle should be 90 degrees to allow easier escape of the leaking metal. It is extremely important not to stand under the cutting surfaces, or melting residue may burn you. Once you have done cutting and FIREPEN is still burning, place it in the box filled with sand, which you should have prepared prior to cutting. Do not ever try to extinguish FIREPEN by waving it around, or blowing on it, or covering it with your hand, or hitting any objects with it. It will drop residue that will burn through everything. Do not ever ignite FIREPEN outside of vicinity where the cutting will take place. Do not ever hold the burning rod, as it's very hot. Do not ever operate FIREPEN without protective clothing. Now that you are familiar with the instructions how to use the FIREPEN, I want you to stop this demonstration, rewind it, and watch again. Be safe and happy cutting!